Howdy folks, I'm that literary lady and this is your weekly literary tip. Today's tip has to do with a question that I'm often asked and I have been asked throughout my literary career. And that question is, how do I get started? Many people come to me and say they have a book in their heart and an idea for a book, but they don't know how to get started. And I know I've done a video before on this, but I want to go ahead and just reiterate what my response is. In short, my response is just do it. If you keep procrastinating and keep trying to find excuses of why you can't start writing your book, you'll never get that book finished. Just get a notebook like this, a pen and paper, and just start writing down your ideas. They don't have to be complete thoughts. As long as you get them on paper, that's the most important thing. Now, I don't know about you, but me, I'll be 43 on Monday. And as I've gotten older, I don't retain information like I used to. Before, I used to be a sponge. So now, if I don't record it or if I don't write it down, chances are it's going to slip my mind. I'm going to forget it. And I could have a potentially great idea or storyline, but if I don't write it down or record it, I'm going to lose it. So my first suggestion is to just write it down. Or, I've said before, carry around a recorder, a small handheld recorder, and just record your thoughts or whatever you're thinking on that recorder, and you can later on take it back to your computer and play it back and type it onto your software or your Word doc or whatever the case may be. But at least you'll have that and you won't forget it. If you're not the type to talk into a recorder, you can get a little yellow sticky pad like this one here. Just write down little thoughts. You can keep both of them in your purse and just write down thoughts as they come to you. I keep both by my bed at night because sometimes that's when the best ideas come to me. When I'm sleeping or I can't sleep, I'll just write them down and just keep them on the nightstand. And when I get up, I'll transfer them to my computer. So keep some kind of tool with you at all times and just write down your thoughts. My other suggestion is carve out at least, to start off, let's just say, because people are like, well, I don't have time. And that just irritates me when people say they don't have time, because I run several businesses. I'm a wife. I'm a Toastmaster. I have so many things going on, and I still manage to take time to write. So if you don't have 2 hours to write like I do every day, take half an hour to start. Half an hour will go by just like that. And I'm sure if you look, you will have 30 minutes to write, even if you're not actually writing it down. While you're cooking dinner for the kids, turn on your recorder and record your thoughts. But take some time each day to put something on that paper. Another thing that people do that prolongs the process of getting a book out is actually writing something on paper and then going back and continually reviewing that one piece of skit or thought that they've written down. Don't do that. Write everything down. Try to prevent initially from going back and going over it and saying, is that right? Maybe I should change this. Don't do that, because you will find yourself changing that same particular section of your manuscript over and over and over again. And every day you're going to find that you have 10 pages of a 260-page manuscript done. And you still have more to go. So write down each thought. Don't worry about at what point they are in the manuscript, because after you've put those thoughts down and you've completed that particular manuscript, the first draft, you can always go back and elongate a thought, add to, delete, move around. And also that's when an editor is for, if you have an editor that will walk with you through the steps of enhancing your story, character development, storyline development, and so on. But don't even think about that, because a lot of people start thinking ahead of time. Oh, I need a publisher, or I need an editor, or I need a cover designer. Just forget about all that. Just go ahead and just start writing. Write on paper, or record it, or write it on a sticky. Put each thought down. I have what I call a storyboard, and each time I get a thought in that particular story that I'm writing, I'll put it on the storyboard. That way, as I'm writing, I don't get off track, and when I'm looking up at my storyboard, I'll actually see that thought that I pasted, and I'm like, oh, okay, that reminds me, I need to put this part in. So, the only advice, the best advice that I can give anyone who has asked me, who is asking me or who will continually ask me, how do I get started writing my book? I'm going to say the famous words of Nike, just do it. Write it down on paper or get on your laptop, but make sure you are doing it, whether it's on a tablet or a sticky or whatever. Just start writing it. Don't worry about the flow. Don't worry about spelling errors. Don't worry about any of that. The most important thing right now to get you started is to get those words on paper, no matter how you get them there. Get them on paper. This has been That Literary Lady, and this has been your weekly literary tip. Have a great day.